Yunara Lulu.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think if there's an answer, like if they just flex this Anivia into the Rumble matchup topside to Ashe Seraphine that we're not thinking about, like Ezreal Yumi? I don't think so.
You're a little bit worried about seeing that one. Still wouldn't mind a Lulu lock-in, to be honest.
I think those are the real options, right? Seraphine or Lulu.
What does FaZe do?
He's like, Lucian Nami, lock it in.
Well, Jhin. That makes me feel sad.
I don't really like that much here, but there is a lot of upfront between the Xin Zhao and the Twisted Fate that's going to get on top of somebody and stun them. And Jarvan made it all the way through.
Yeah, so J4 over to Willa. And then we decide where the Anivia is going. Obviously, they kept the support pick up in the air, and it's KRX, so he can kind of play everything. It's not going to be Lulu, though. Lulu Jhin is just not very good.
There's no way it's like the ego pike game, right? They're just like, yeah, no, we
run it back.
No, we can run it back. I don't think so. But there's not any ranged supports. Is it Jhin Seraphine?
Jhin Sona. Jhin Janna.
Jhin Janna. I'm kind of with that one, actually. That one I'm kind of a little bit interested in, but
that'd be fun.
Carrie is going to do something weird.
I hope so.
Or just play Blitzcrank, which is also kind of weird.
Ooh, but kind of fun. It's Camille. Oh, sometimes you just pick Camille. So I guess we're in that arc. The arc area where he just wants to play strange things.
I remember when Camille support was
Rumble
going around.
support!
Do you remember that game?
Rumble support? Rumble. And let's see how their balance is as we get into the rift for game number 1. All right. No one knew what to call KIWOOM DRX in that fan chant, and I like it. It was just chaos.
Is, if I'm reading this correctly, okay, it is Karia's 4th game of Camille support. He's 1-2.
Okay. We can even up the scoreline. 4th game, and he's playing with a Jhin? Coincidence? Probably.
Yeah, I think just a coincidence.
Yeah. He probably does.
This is a good lane. It's a good 2v2 here.
Yeah.
If you can find the right hookshot angles. There's number 1.
And he's certainly found an angle, as the Ignite is already down as well.
That's a way to burn the ice. There you go.
Yeah. What would you like it, poached or scrambled, Wolf?
Well, he's got that Halo Blades, which lets him attack quickly, and then press the D button to light the enemy on fire.
Well, he does go for another one, as Andal's almost down to his egg already. This, okay, the Camille support, I guess, is just Pyke support with a few extra steps.
Or a few fewer steps, yeah.
Yeah. Something about steps.
Camille is like, I'm not stepping, I'm flying! And Pyke's kind of doing a little floating.
Yeah.
Neither of them are really stepping, actually, on second thought.
That was weird.
Couldn't quite reach this time. Now, level 2 is here. Rondo walls at the right time and sets up a stun. There's a lot of damage in this Ezreal, but Owner is coming down. That ward is down.
The Demacians are going to meet, as Willer is discovered immediately. I think KIWOOM DRX probably wanted to use this as a bit of a respite gain on this bottom side, but it's unable to happen as Owner and Willer are just going to fight one another. Flag and Drag does come in order to get Willer out of there, but that is Owner winning the territorial engage.
He does indeed do that. And it looks like it's just going to be a back here for Keria. And he'll head straight back to the lane. I say that. He's heading mid, actually. Ooh. With Owner coming up as well.
And it's going to be a late back here for Andal as well, so he's going to get there earlier. There's the gold card connecting, but Yukal does have Ghost, so he will be able to get himself out. Still, he's going to have to back. And now that he doesn't have, you know, his Ghost available, does have Home Guard in order to get back to this lane, but you can see Faker just trying to push this one out as quickly as possible. He'd already teleported after he got that refillable, but he's going to be in even better standing now. And he's a Twisted Fate, right? So you just naturally are going to be ahead.
I kind of feel like the way this draft has gone is KIWOOM are like, we know what we like to play. We know some of our strengths and weaknesses. We put Rich on Cassante as a... I'm going to hold my tongue on this for a moment, as Keria is lurking with Hookshot at the ready.
They are not allowed to face check that brush. And it looks like they're not going to, as Rich. On the Cassante, this has been okay. There is the hookshot. Deadly Flourish will be avoided, as Andal does find the stun at least. still, T1 are having a very good time here in this
But what I
bottom lane.
was going to say about the draft is it feels like Lazy feels like, all right, give him my favorite. You know, I want to play Ezreal. We're going to first pick that. It's a fairly safe pick. UCal's on the rise. They got the Jarvan. Rich is like, I'm going to be stable up here. I promise on Cassante. It's a tough matchup in the Rumble. And we got the basics down, whereas they actually did this advanced tutorial where it's like, oh, you got to play against Twisted Fate, Jin Camille, they got Rumble. So it is, it's a little bit tougher than the basic, you know, we're going to play what we like to play kind of draft here. And T1 has the finesse comp. They have the comp that really only they play. You know, you could argue D+ plays this style a little bit, but this is very much a T1 playing both comfort, but also unusual picks in this meta, and it can sometimes be something that catches you off guard. Like Andil, relatively younger player here in terms of age in the LCK, has been around for a while now, but hasn't seen the same success, nowhere near Keria. In fact, most supports could wish they were like half as close to success as Keria, but my point is, he's probably like, all right, let me learn Anivia for this season. I can master that, and then it's like, oh, by the way, Camille Jin lane. Maybe played that one before. He's like, oh, I mean, maybe once or twice.
Yeah, let me have a look at my notebook, shall I?
It's a little rough.
Well, UCal trying to sidestep some of these wildcards, does a decent job. As I think just in a general scrap with UCal being in range, you're probably going to be able to win that DPS race. But Faker should be able to start clearing out waves pretty comfortably. Just sitting on a Sapphire Crystal right now on top of his Doran's Ring, so not going to be doing crazy amounts of damage. Zandil not going to get caught by that Deadly Flourish. Pays has missed a couple of those. No harm, no foul. Carrier will get himself out of there. And Pays looking for a target for this fourth bullet. It's going to be a cannon.
Always worth. As Owner once again going to make a pass down here at the bottom lane. Willer is not here this time.
There's the hook shot. Does manage to find the stun onto Lazyfield, but immediately they look for Andil, who has to flash.
Yeah, does not want to get egged right there.
Yeah.
There is no way out, so a good flash there. Even though he had his passive, it was not going to do him a whole lot of good. And they may just go for a second setup here with the wave crashing. Andil is super low. Even just getting the egg would be massive. As Pays got his fourth shot.
Yep, they're looking for the angle here. As, yeah, there it is. Faker now making his way down as well as the Destiny Gate does come on through. The egg lasted about 0.2 of a second, and they just dropped the turret aggro so comfortably.
And Willer just can't really make a play here to try to save this. I mean, Lazyfield has flash, but there's 4 T1 members here, and UCal, even if he realm warps in, it's just too much of a risk because they could just turn on him and kill him because Lazyfield can't join. He's going to come over here with Willer, though, and start this dragon up while T1 are backing after the dive. Owner very well aware of this. Does have a ward in the Drake pit, but I don't think he can stop this. So the exchange is, got egg, got a kill, but we'll lose dragon. As we'll watch this again. Andil, watch this egg. You mentioned he dies basically instantly. Pays is holding his shot, holding his shot, holding his shot. Bam. Goodbye. That was crazy.
It was. And the turret really wasn't interested in killing T1 players that dive as well. Really beautifully juggled by T1. So Mountain Dragon does go over to KIWOOM DRX. That is a good thing, as Faker is a little susceptible to the Anivia. And Keria is looking for the flash stun, does not get it. Still, Andil is looking a little worse for wear. Willer will turn up though. And in the meantime, Owner is taking the enemy red buff. Rune Prison does come down. Keria is very, very dead. Just doesn't have a lot of ways out.
Owner could try to look for a Crescent Guard angle.
Oh, wait a second.
And
if they had vision, they would kill him.
I don't think they realize, and Owner is not going to try to see if he can get lucky, because he might have been able to, you know, maybe catch Andil there, but limited information, so
yep.
Just as the end of that. He does not help his support in the mid lane, but this is actually just Faker greeting a little bit for this plate, gets walled. Great sidestep from Faker on the Q. And then Keria actually utilizes the wall here in such a great way to close the gap, but he just doesn't have the damage yet. And Willer shows up, and Faker is like, all I got's one card for you, Keria. There's too much CC. Yeah. There's nothing else Faker can do.
Yeah. Willer in the right place at the right time, and that stun missing on Andil was problematic there for T1, but I think regardless of whether that hit or not, I think that with the man advantage, things were going to be good for KIWOOM DRX, so that's going to even out the kill score. Unfortunately, it doesn't really help as far as the gold advantage is concerned. Having a look here, it is Doran having a pretty good time on that top side, but as Rich builds towards his Rook Urn, he's going to be feeling better and better. As soon as that Spectre's Cowl comes in, that's when the Cassante really starts to have a better time. I wouldn't say good time, but a better time in lane.
Is the Camille just the counter pick? Because if the wall goes up, she's just like, see ya, and just jumps over it and stuns you.
You also just get to put Ezreal in a cage that you cannot get out of.
That's the main thing, but I'm thinking about the Anivia more after watching that mid play. Like, actually, Keria might have some.
You can just use it as a hookshot.
Exactly.
Thingy. Yeah, it's pretty nice. You can leapfrog it, no worries.
He's Spider-Man. Machine thing.
Yeah.
That is woman.
Spider-Man scissor legs. Is kind of how it goes. Owner is going to be able to take down this blue buff, though, and continuing to steal everything away as that stun's going to land. And Andal, yeah, he's really dead. No egg, no chance. Destiny comes on through, and the gate going to come down onto UCal. The rest of T1 not quite there for the follow-up, though, as we can see. LazyFeel looking to try and get a few cheeky Mystic shots off, but I don't think that is going to happen, as Owner will let the Gromp reset.
Anivia
goes back.
Is just not working yet, Atlas, and this Camille pick is not only affecting the bottom lane, but just kind of, he's everywhere. It did end up dying for the mid attempt moments ago, but it's constantly just pressuring and setting up Owner in this situation to zone them away from the turret. And because everyone had to come down, UCal had to realm warp in. Even though they have 4 members here, it's not like they're, you know, losing plates in mid, because everyone on KIWOOM DRX has to show up to try to save this play. And Andal just doesn't have egg. There's too much damage here, and they're like, we gotta stay, otherwise maybe they also kill LazyFeel. So you see the realm warp come through from UCal as he's trying to defend, but they lose nothing, T1, in this exchange, and get the free bird.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
And I do think that the Anivia is kind of doing a little bit more than just like being a decent pick in lane. It is good to pick it when you're going to pick Ryze as well, right? Because they pick them at the same time, try and deny that counter pick. But then Faker just picks Twisted Fate and is just going to kind of nullify the lane. Yes, UCal is going to have a better time, but I don't know whether this is going to be a game that gets to the point where Ryze can kind of take over. If things go the way T1 want it to, they kind of win in mid-game anyway.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing about this draft where, obviously I'm being a bit facetious, but it almost feels like at KIWOOM DRX, like, wait, they can do that? Like, is that that's not in the list of champions that we see in this meta.
Yeah, you're supposed to play Cassiopeia.
Yeah, exactly.
But honestly, Cassiopeia would have gone hard.
The Prima guide said. You just gotta pick Cassiopeia. We know we can handle this. But ultimately, you know, Twisted Fate pick here is working a treat. It works well into Ryze, but it is also just working incredibly well with Camille. Because Camille Twisted Fate is a mid-top synergy we've seen for years. Yeah. Works well in support. It's like Camille Galio. Sorry, Ezreal, you're just not going to play the game unless you get ahead, and he's currently 440 behind.
Would have been really cool if this Jhin was a Galio instead.
Imagine.
Oh, would have been so cool. Just need a Nocturne, and then you just have all of them.
I want to say I don't think it would do well in lane, but I've seen crazier things. Yeah. Maybe it actually would.
I mean, it only has to do better than a Jhin. Actually, no, he's fine in lane. Xin goes carrier, finds the Hextech ultimatum as LazyFeel. That's a decent Captain Jack, but the curtains have been called. And unfortunately for Pays, he kind of misses most of the buttons until Willa stands in front of LazyFeel to keep him alive. Flash Frost not quite working here as Andal is still incredibly squishy. And by still, I mean he's just going to be incredibly squishy throughout this whole game.
He's got his catalyst.
Hey, there we go.
Give him some time. He'll heal up.
He will have that Rod of Ages, so time is kind of what he wants.
I watched these skirmishes, these fights, especially this one here, even though it didn't lead to a kill and really only got LazyFeel's cleanse. And you're like, okay, T1 we're cooking with this draft way early. The synergy is real. As we're going to see a UCal Realm Warp.
Well, that is just going to be enough. They do just jump on top of the Camille, and she is just dead. The rest of T1 not able to do too much. Crescent Guard here from Owner, who is fighting against Willer and actually taking matters into his own hands. That is a Chem Soul, which is a little unfortunate, as Pays is in a really weird spot. Not entirely sure what he's trying to do there as Faker. He's going to have to flash out, but in goes Owner. I don't know about that. All right, Doran is going to come on through to try and save the day. Faker's like, well, now it's my turn, as he finds the gold card. And UCal is on the wrong side of the map. Doran makes sure that his death is swift as he flashes in for the kill.
And it's a 5-4 kill score, so if you're a KIWOOM fan, you're like, okay, it was pretty even, right? Not really, actually, with the exchange here. And this is, by the way, if you've heard the term T1 Circus, like that was it right there. That is quintessential T1 Circus, because this is what we're talking about when we talk about T1 kind of walking the fine line, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Keria sacrifices himself here, right, so they can get the dragon. And for a lot of teams, it's like, okay, is this salvageable? Sorry, Owner, you're dead. We'll probably just leave. Faker and crew are like, hold on, let's play this. Watch Pays try to make an insane outplay here, by the way. Trying to get on top of Willer. Messes it up. Willer gets away with his flash. It's actually really clean from Willer. He's super low. And then Owner's like, you know what? I've watched a few Kanavi VODs. I think I can pull this off.
They get a lot of flashes.
And then, like, he survives for so long. Doran gets the snipe with the equalizer, and Faker's like, I still have ult. And Doran just shows up to collect monies. I mean,
Yeah.
Rumble's just printing money, I swear, every single game. And now he has a 300 gold lead and 2 kills to his name.
How does Pays now have a 950 gold lead? I think it's probably because he's taken a bunch of plate money and things like that, but he's got his scoped weaponry and is now looking to do some work. I kind of like this new Jhin build that people are doing that doesn't have a Ghost Blade. It's really been making me feel a bit better about the champion.
I like it when Jhin stays away and doesn't like press a button to walk towards the enemies. When he stays away and shoots from far, that is the good Jhin.
And shooting from far is the benefit for this
Hex
item.
optics?
Yeah, the Hex optics is quite good.
Oh my god, I remembered it. Oh, that's my first time.
Yeah, I just call it the scope. That's generally how I do it.
I don't know the number. It's C55 or something, but it's Hex optics.
It's okay. It didn't need the number. It was already a unique name.
When are we going to get Chem optics?
Ooh, that is a really good point. I'm not entirely sure.
I don't think we're going to get it.
Yeah.
It'll probably be Canic optics.
Canic optics. It's C44, by the way.
Whatever.
I remembered that myself. I didn't actually. It was written down for me. I would never lie to you guys.
Well, I mean, they'll re-release it as 55 in the future, no doubt.
I hope so.
Luden's Companion, you know.
That might be like in the 2027 version. Is the C55?
Could be.
Oh, it sounds like it'd go fast, doesn't it? C55?
Yeah.
I don't know why. You know, 55 was my basketball jersey number.
Really?
When I was a kid. Yeah.
What was the meaning?
Fun fact. There wasn't one.
Oh,
it was just the one that they pulled out of the jersey bucket for me. Jersey bucket? Not entirely sure about that one. Saved by a team fight here as Owner goes in. There's the Destiny one more time as well. So there's a decent amount of poke here from T1. They're into a choke point, and it looks like KIWOOM DRX are going to at least push them away for now.
You know the T1 Circus thing? I feel like this is partially why Owner is so good at Xinjiao, because Xinjiao allows you to kind of cheat the like, oh, this didn't quite work out, but they can't hurt me, so we're just going to walk away.
Yep.
And he is so good, by the way, at turning those into... They tried to set something up into me, and then my team showed up, and we smashed them because we have the best macro, the best rotations. In this case, he just walked away, and it's fine. They're now going to turn this into... Okay, they also walked away, and we have Prio on Herald. Keria has Flash and ult, and there's no Ezreal for him to ult yet, but he could be
equalizes up in
else.
3 seconds. I think T1 are ready to go. Rich going to need to do some work here, as there's the Flash Hextech ultimatum to come through from Keria. The equalizer does go down. They will lose the Camille, but what more can they gain from the situation? The answer is nothing, as it turns out. Some wildcards do fly on through, as Anvil's taking so much damage. I think does have his egg back and available again, but there it goes. Down once more as Rich flashes forward. I don't know about that one, though. He's just going to go down. Still, Owner is able to take down the Rift Herald. Not entirely sure how that even happened, as Owner flashes on in, but didn't have the ulti available. Does use it there. Comet kills another person here today, and Pays is at full health, just shooting where he can.
Yeah. Lehen's right now was like, I feel you.
Yep.
He flashed it, but, you know, he died to the Jhin afterwards. The Jhin in this game not at securing the kill. The Comet actually doing the work.
Comet value, man.
This setup here initially looks like it's going to be abysmal for T1 because they didn't do enough damage to the carries. LazyFeel and UCal are untouched by the equalizer. Willer gets away, and it's like, uh-oh, can T1 fight their way out of this? They're trying to hold aggro on this Herald. And then actually, I think KIWOOM do a disservice here by holding the Herald. And then Rich goes in for no reason. Like, frankly, I don't think there was any follow-up here. They could have just kited back with the Ezreal, and then the Herald goes over to Owner, then for a second time, Blast Cone engages, and it's Chemtech Soul, so he gets to go really far.
I was trying to work out what he was doing there. I think he thought that he still had ult, or he had ult back up, because it was about to come back. If that was a Flash ulti, right, to like split up the team, they could have killed so many people.
Yeah,
just didn't quite figure it out.
He wasn't healthy really either, as Pays, by the way, is also printing money.
He's got some Swifties, as Faker is going to turn up right on top of the bird, and she will be absolutely destroyed. Rich teleporting in, but may regret it. True Shot Barrage, though, is going to dissuade them from hanging around in the area. T1 are playing some fast and loose League of Legends, and it's working.
Yeah, Keria was the one who struggled with the Anivia pick early this year. I believe it was into Ashe Seraphine, but it might have been Karma. It's been a while. Okay.
Well, Shelly
get this.
is not going to charge.
But the time that he plays into the Anivia with the Camille pick, he's also died 3 times, but he's having a good time. Anvil's not having a good time. You remember how we haven't really seen Camille rumble because they're both top lane champions? You know, there was an era where Camille was jungle and it was scary and it was actually broken and it was bad.
Yeah.
But now we're watching Camille rumble because Camille is a support in this game, so that's also a problem. The Ezreal has only died 1 time so far, but is 1,400 gold behind. It's really hard for LazyField to team fight. I want to reiterate that for both him and UCal, you see in all of these skirmishes, they've been like a million miles away from everything because they have to be. Otherwise, they just die instantly. The engage is unreal. Gold card, Xin Zhao getting on top of you. You know, Camille ults, Rumble ults. Jin is blowing you up from safety as well. Like, Ezreal is just not going to have a good time if something doesn't change soon. It's already a 4,000 gold lead, so I'm not holding my breath here for LazyField, but he's trying to make something happen. Again, positioning has been good, but I mean, sometimes your positioning being good means you're not doing damage, so you're not winning.
Yeah, he does at least have that 2-item spike that we like to talk about on the Ezreal, as Andal is going to very rudely be told to leave. Does find a nice stun as LazyField is looking to try and get some damage down. Red buff in hand, so kind of frustrating. But T1 are just all going to walk up to this outer turret.
This turret is not long for this world. I mean, KIWOOM, they have Anivia wave clear, so they're going to be fine. But I was so concerned. I'm like, oh, that Camille is ready to use that turret. They get away.
Yep, it's okay for the moment. UCal is now here to back up Rich. Wanted to try and find Doran, who is going to go back home.
Deathless game for Doran, by the way.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
As
he may have turned it around. Pays and LazyField fighting here. Pays feeling pretty good about that one. And now the curtains are being called. In goes Keria, and down goes the Ezreal. And Keria just hanging out underneath this turret, living his best life, as it turns out. Willer is going to be the one to collect that kill. Faker takes down a turret. And I feel like this is Keria's plan, is
he's just
die as many
himself.
times as possible and take as many people with him as he can.
That's exactly the type of play I was describing about, what, 20 seconds before, where I was like, he's going to use that turret to kill you. And then
himself.
He did do that. And he died, but it was worth. So we'll watch it again. He does end up using the wall here, but gets on top of the turret and then says, get away, Anivia. Stop annoying me while I'm killing the Ezreal.
And he gets the
And then the Charvin gets the kill and not the Ezreal.
Okay. What happened here, I wonder? Good flag and drag, but that is the flash. Wind becomes lightning. Willa knows that he's dead, wants to try and save his mid laner, and will be able to do that by buying a little bit of time.
Keeping Faker away from UCal.
Yeah. I'm looking at the money difference, and I'm
seems
feeling
to be
like
large.
the money difference is problematic here for KIWOOM DRX.
Rich is making it a little bit less problematic in top lane matchup.
Yeah.
Slowly over time.
The least gold advantage as in goes Ona. Just audaciously charges in. He's tanking his turret, and it will go down. It'll keep him alive.
Okay, there's a bit of a flank here from Rich. I don't know if it's good for him, though. He's immediately canceling it.
I was going to say, is this the Hail Mary? And it's not. It's Rich trying to go back home. Doran has teleport himself, so he can come down whenever they need him, but he doesn't have Equalizer, so he's not a massive amount of value. Okay, let's have a look at what happened here.
Okay, so Doran is Realm Warped on. He drops Equalizer. Willer loses most of his health.
And then they have to leave.
Faker.
Because of Destiny.
It was their destiny to die here.
Yeah.
And Doran remains deathless.
Kind of insane.
It doesn't necessarily mean anything. He's playing Rumble into Cassante, and he has shown up to finish fights most of the time, but he's had some impressive plays. And Rumble is really good. It's crazy that they got their hands on that, and then the rest got a little bit silly, but it's incredibly strong, and only T1 really knows how to play like this. And only T1 chooses to play like this. I mean, I'm sure, you know, Genji, KT might be able to pull this one off, but they just choose to play a little bit more standard.
Yeah, like you said, I think it's only D+ that also plays like this.
D+ actually will pick these champions. Barrel 100% in the old days. Like, give me that Camille.
The spirit of Barrel. As Doran and Rich just fighting one another. You can see Doran very, very happy to continue going toe-to-toe, but Adaptive Helm is done here, or Jack shows, depending on which game you're playing. And he is doing all right. Still.
Owner is really feeling himself in this game. And
He's flashing whenever it's off cooldown.
Yeah. He's blast coning whenever there's one nearby. He's really just trying to annoy anyone who's near him so then the rest of the team can collapse from 5,000 miles away with the Camille and the Twisted Fate and the Jhin, who's not going to collapse. He's just going to shoot far, which is a good thing. That's what Jhin does. This is a good Jhin comp. You know, like the Hanwha comp yesterday with Guma, you pin people down and Jhin shoots far.
Okay, so the equalizer was just used, but Carrier is just going to look for this top lane, and they get full information, decide that they would not like to go up there and try and take down Rich. They will instead allow Owner to take this dragon. Faker will move towards this inner turret in the bottom lane, grab himself a plate before he leaves, and they let Rich live.
Faker is definitely doing the high rolling in this game with his passive 2,500.
Yep. Better players make more money from your passive. That's just how it goes.
When you're the greatest of all time, you're getting a lot of sixes.
And he's like 20 CS, over 20 CS down, almost the same scoreline, like Twisted Fate, man. He really does cheat.
He's got Rod of Ages, so he's level experience, or rather his experience is even with, or level with, Yukal here. And he has 8 Dark Seal stacks.
Yeah, Twisted Fate is large.
He do also shoot far with the rapid fire cannon.
And it hurts when he does so because he's got a Lich Bane. So it's looking a little bit frightening here for KIWOOM DRX. They are 8,000 gold behind at 25 minutes into the game. Obviously, it's not over until your Nexus explodes, but it's feeling a little bit like things may be skewing in T1's favor. 4 minutes until the Chemtech Soul is available for T1. And honestly, oh no, Chemtech Soul's not exactly great. I mean, Zinzao kind of likes it, but otherwise it is not fantastic.
Camille's support is all about that.
Okay, that's a good point. He has spent a lot of time at sub 50%.
Yeah, he's spending most of the time at like sub 1% health.
Yeah, or sub health, as it turns out. For good reason, though.
I do think T1 are in a position to where, like, even though they have TF, Jhin, they can actually make a realistic take on the Baron, or rather an attempt to take Baron.
Yeah, I mean, if Doran's there, I mean, he melts it.
But also, like, their turn is incredible. So they just slowly take it, it doesn't matter. KIWOOM are like, oh, they're doing Baron, and then T1 are like, you can't be here or we kill you. And then we take Baron anyways.
Yep, and one of them is not allowed to leave if they do show up, because Carrier can just isolate his chosen target. As Owner is just going to walk up and take the enemy Krugs.
He seems to like killing Andil this game.
Yeah, Andil has been doing a bit of dying as Realm Warp is going to come on forward. They're looking for Paze, who flashes away. And there is the destiny. Carrier is going to sacrifice himself for the good of his AD carry as Willa goes in and still going to be able to get the knock-up onto Paze. Meanwhile, the fight erupts elsewhere as Doran goes in, goes gold, and Flamethrower gets the rest of the work done as Faker finds enough cards to throw into this Ezreal to take him down. And yes, Paze is going to die, but I think in exchange, they will probably kill everyone if they decide to stick around. And it looks like wisely, KIWOOM DRX are going to back away. At least the 2 that are left alive.
They almost have enough damage here. And actually, they're going to send the Rumble home. He doesn't have TP. I don't know about this
I think
T1.
If Rumble
this is a real T1 Baron.
Yeah, if Doran was... Yeah, he is going to go back and see what he can do. Owner is alive and very fed. He is a very scary boy right now. But
okay, this is crazy. This is too much for me.
This is not what you should do.
It's not safe. It's not safe.
Do not do this at home. As Carrier is going to make his way in, looks to try and dissuade Andal from being here. They both just blast cone to Narnia. There's the steal that was obviously going to happen. And T1 will now just back away.
Sometimes the circus gets mixed reviews.
Yeah.
They ultimately kill the enemy champion, and they almost, I mean, they were in smite range of the Baron.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is Willer was like, you guys don't have any secure here. Yeah. Sometimes just sit on your 8,000 gold lead and don't give KIWOOM a free Baron.
I mean, Owner was,
with bounty.
He was there, wasn't he? He was there, so it was 50-50.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can look back at this, but first...
It just didn't have to be.
Watch Paze just be like, nope. Nope, 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 nope. And Faker's like, okay, all right, I'll go handle this. Carrier's like, oh, I'm gonna hold him in position.
Yep.
And then Doran drops the equalizer, which is somewhat problematic for the rest of this fight, but Faker is so big. Watch how much damage Faker does to Lazy Field. He's like, yeah, okay, I'm the real AD carry with AP items.
Oh, and like insta-locks a gold card as well?
Damn.
He must
then
have
he gets
those
another
cards
one.
kicking in the back of his brain.
He's stacked the deck.
Oh,
Rich
yeah.
is just dead here. But then they're like, Xin Zhao and TF can do the Baron. And Doran's like, I'm really low, but I guess I'll help you guys. He just steals it. For those who remember the old Live Sandbox Willer, Elise days, he's pretty good at stealing Baron.
Okay, we are into some action here as Doran has gone golden once again, but I believe he's going to take a visit to the Death Chamber. That will indeed happen. Curtain Call does come in as you can just follow the smallest bit of the cone and you can hit Pays with it.
If I hadn't just watched that D+ series, I'd be like, nah, there's nothing to worry about here for T1. They still got a 7,000 gold lead, but it is, I don't know exactly what happened there, but it's not looking good at this fight.
Oh, that's a really nice wall. Somehow Carrier manages to walk around it, but maybe he didn't want to as he hook shots away.
That's not top lane, Camille. I think they should just let this dragon go. It's just
By the way,
Chemtech.
Owner is definitely going to be blast coning in there. Win doesn't become lightning, actually, and they are just going to secure it.
Good choice, T1.
Yes, they elect not to go in for the first time this game.
I was very concerned, but
rightly so, Wolf.
Let's see what happened to Doran. I think he just gets isolated here. Realm Warp comes in. He's on the wrong side of this. Willer engages first. There's no peel. Faker has his gold card out, but he's too far away. Doran buys time, but just dies. And then from here on out, you know, the Jhin ultimate is also down. The effective damage is all onto Rich, and the carries are still alive. So T1 make the call to back away. Although for a few moments there, it looked like Carrier and crew were like, no, we will not back away.
Faker as well has gone Death Cap instead of Azonia's or something like that. Very aggressive choice. What he needs to do now is build Void Staff and finish the Magi's for the most, you know, egotistical, you could say,
yes.
item build. Obviously, Azonia's can be very effective on TF, as Messiah taught us 15 years ago. As Yukal is now going to get Destinied on, and Faker, with all of this money that he has, would be doing a lot of damage to Yukal if Yukal didn't have an arm guard to break.
Okay, this is a very awkward spot here for T1. No equalizer, and, you know, KIWOOM DRX should just be able to break this mid turret. I just don't think there's any defending it.
Yeah, Owner is actually going to go in, but Willer is going to say thank you for the engage.
There's not going to take the bait.
From Andal as well, as Pays has moved in. I'm not sure about that Realm Warp. That was
in the world was that?
I have no idea. It was a lot of fun. Pays is finding some decent damage on this Jhin, though, as Rich. He's a paperweight and will get popped by Owner in the end. Willer just going to get melted by Doran. Doran may get melted himself, but he's got Azonia's. There's the curtain call value, and he lines up the next kill at the same time. Andal's in a bunch of trouble, and yes, scrambled once again, please, sir. Down that will go. And Doran going to help with that.
That would be my face.
Got his eye.
That was my face when I saw the Realm Warp as well, KIWOOM fans.
Oh, gosh.
Like, when I saw he was Realm Warping, I'm like, oh, I guess he goes straight on the turret and tries to push Pays. Nope. That's not where he... That's, like, I think that's what LazyFeel thought as well. He's like, here we go. He's like, whoa, 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 where am I?
Yeah, I was a bit confused also.
He met Aslan on the other side.
Oh, dear. Well, they're going to go in. They grab the knock up there onto the Rise. And that is going to complete the ace. T1, the circus will take a brief interval before it does come back once again.